My name is Nick Vujicic. I was born in Australia in 1982, moved from Australia to California in the year 2006. And my life story, I'm just thankful that people have seen my life on some sort of level, whether it's just YouTube videos or seeing pictures of a limbless guy's smile. People always ask me, what happened to you and how did you overcome what you've been through? The title of the message that I've been given is Transforming the Walls into Doors. When I speak corporately, the line that I like to use is changing obstacles into opportunities. Now, I'm very well aware to share with you as well. I know that there are 1 billion people going hungry today.
I think he will address world concerns such as children and people going hungry in other countries. I think he will talk about his childhood, being born without limbs, and how he felt as a child and how he learned to overcome that. I think he's going to do a lot of changing one thing into another, changing negative thought patterns into positive thought patterns, essentially. I think he will talk about some of his mission work. He might bring up his family when he was a kid and now. He might compare Australia to California. He and we'll probably talk about finding hope even in hopeless situations and how to do so and how he has done so as well.
I know that this year 1 million people will commit suicide. It's one every 40 seconds. I know today there are 120 million slaves, and I've met sex slaves, and I've seen the top of the pyramid as far as business and met the billionaires. I've met bankers, and I've also met orphans. We're all looking for something. We're all looking for hope. Hope you can't just have just because you were born with hope. No, we're born with pain. We're born and live through difficulties. In our life, my parents always told me that even though we don't know why I was born this way, that we have a choice. Either to be angry for what we don't have, or be thankful for what we do have. The power of that choice was the first thing that I had to overcome and decide for myself, especially in the early years of school. A lot of kids would come up to me and tease me. And I've been speaking at 5 congresses. I've met 7 presidents all around the world. My largest crowd was 110,000. I have 30,000 invitations for me to speak. So wherever I go, I talk about the value of life. I talk about anti-bullying messages for the school systems in different nations. The greatest thing is love. When we feel like we don't have enough love, when we don't have enough hope, we start losing strength to live. For me, in my life as a child, I had a big wall. I was surrounded by 4 walls, a low ceiling of opportunity. I was set free in so many different ways, and especially surviving from day to day with my parents who loved me, who encouraged me, who told me that I was beautiful the way that I was, and not to worry about what other people said about me. I was actually the first special needs child to be integrated into the mainstream education system in Australia, and I was awarded Young Citizen of the Year in 1990. The world is a hurting place, and the world needs hope, and the world needs love. Without hope, I feel like, why are we here? Well, brokenness is mine. Today, I still have no arms and legs. But everything's changed. Everything. For me, I was looking for hope and happiness. I couldn't see it for many years. In fact, if this side of the table represents my hope, truth encourages me to become all that I can be. But then we have lies every day coming in our mind, people who discourage us. You know, the people that you have in your life who, no matter how good of a day you're having, they'll bring you matter how bad of a day you're having, they'll bring you even lower. You know what I'm talking about? Think of the three biggest discouragers in your life. They're not your biggest discouragers. You are. You are. It only takes 3 seconds for me to tell you something discouraging. But then, you may never forget my words. I've met so many 50-year-old women and 40-year-old women who still remember what their fathers told them that they wish they never heard. Words are powerful. When you hear those words, then your mind starts growing with these lies. Nick, you're not good enough. Nick, just give up. Nick, you're never going to get a job. You won't get married. You can't even hold your wife's hand. What kind of a father are you going to be if you can't even pick up your kids when they're crying? You're alone. Sure, your parents hug you, but their hugs can't heal you. Just give up. 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 At age 8, I thought that I should commit suicide. Why? I didn't have hope. I thought I didn't have hope. Today you can see that I have. What's the word? Believing in something you do not see. Faith. Words can only do so much. Hugs can do much more than words. But when hugs can't do anything, that's where faith kicks in. For me, words and hugs were not enough, but I had no faith. So I tried to give up. At age 10, I tried to drown myself in 6 inches and 15 centimeters of water in my home. I told my dad I just wanted to relax. Really, I wanted to end my life. I had enough. Lost to me and people. Okay. The first 2 times I rolled over, I was trying to work out how much air I hold in my lungs before I let it out. The third time, in my mind, knowing that I wanted to get out of here because of the bullying in my life, because I was going to be a burden to my parents and I had nothing to look forward to. I realized at that moment that if I actually went through with committing suicide, I would leave a greater burden for my parents than they already had. So there was one thing less hopeful or more burdensome than having a child without limbs. What is it? A child without limbs gives up. So when I saw in my mind my mum and my dad and my brother crying at my grave, if I went through with it, that one thought saved me. If my parents never told me that I was beautiful the way that I was, if my parents never told me that I was special and that I was loved, I wouldn't be here today. So I encourage every single parent who tries their best to encourage their teenagers. Especially in the West, many teenagers put a do not disturb sign on their door. Sure, the conversations all around the world between a parent and a teenager. How was school? Fine. What'd you learn? Nothing. Did you do your homework? No. And that's the conversation for the day. When you try to tell your children that they're beautiful, so of course I'm beautiful. I'm your son. I'm your daughter. Of course you're going to say that. But they're right. Every single human being has value, and my value is not determined on how I look or what job I have or where I'm from, where I was born, how much money, all that stuff. Nothing. So many teenagers, tease each other for how we look, and I tell the teenagers,